Not every African story is about warriors, kingdoms, or lost cities. Some are about ambition, the wrong kind.
I thought this would be easy. Just a little tweak, a better shape. And boom, soft life. But now, look at me.
Meet Millie, a dreamer with a plan, steal 200,000 shillings for a miracle butt lift. But what she got was a sting. Literally, stay tuned to see how ambition turned into a viral disaster. Subscribe for more wild African legends, because here, your story matters. Once upon a time, in a bustling village, there lived a young woman named Millie. Her heart was full of dreams, and her eyes sparkled with ambition. However, Millie's dream wasn't to be educated or wise. It was to marry a very rich man, one with chest hair, cologne that whispered Dubai, and a Benz that hummed like gospel. On her wall was a vision board, yachts, handbags, and women shaped like soda bottles. The center read, "Big butt equals big bag." Millie believed it. Instagram backed her up. Influencers with big behinds lived large. School to her was background noise. Each morning, she wore her faded green uniform, waved to the neighbor's cat, and took a matatu to town. Not school. She camped in an internet cafe above a chemist, binging TikToks and before and after BBL photos like a surgeon in training. Now, in case you don't know, BBL is short for Brazilian butt lift. Her parents thought she was studying. In truth, Millie was memorizing Soft Life Starter Pack tutorials. Then, one afternoon, she found it, an ad in her father's old newspaper. Tiny, squeezed between funeral notices, but to Millie, it glowed. Brazilian butt lift, fast, natural, guaranteed, 200,000 shillings. No pain, no injections, no logic, just temptation. Be honest. If you saw that ad and had the money, would you be tempted too? Millie was the pride of her home. Her parents thought she was school royalty. "She corrects the teachers," her mother bragged. In truth, Millie hadn't been in class for weeks. Her school bag had no books, just wipes, gum, and a phone charger. She wore her tight blouse like armor and escaped to town after roll call. Her life was Instagram, screen-grabbing dream bodies, eating greasy fries while watching beauty hacks, and chanting silently, "Soft, life, starter, pack." She believed education was for women who wanted cubicles and dusty men. She, on the other hand, was planning for champagne and Chanel. And now she had the ad, the golden ticket. But 200,000 shillings was no joke. Then she remembered. Her parents' emergency stash, the biscuit tin. She had seen it during cleaning days, tucked behind a broken hairdryer and old dresses. She'd even counted the money once. 300,000 shillings. Suddenly, it wasn't just a fantasy, it was a budget. But Millie had no idea that the shortcut she was dreaming of came with a very painful price. At dawn, Millie waited for her parents to leave. Her heart pounded. She slipped into their bedroom, slid aside a stack of old clothes, and pulled out the biscuit tin. It was heavier than she remembered. She opened it and gasped. Stacks of 1,000 shilling notes, crisp, silent, promising. She divided it like a war strategist. 200,000 shillings, BBL. 100,000 shillings, clothes, makeup, Airbnb. She stuffed the cash into sanitary pad boxes, her version of financial security, and returned the tin like nothing had happened. Later that afternoon, she bought a shiny pink suitcase with wheels and a padlock, filled it with heels, crop tops, and lip gloss. That evening, she told her parents, "Aisha's aunt in Nairobi invited me for the holidays. They have Wi-Fi." Her father beamed. "Read ahead for next term." Millie smiled sweetly. "Of course, Baba." That night, she danced in front of the mirror, whispering, "Your wife is loading." Should we blame Millie, or is society partly responsible for how girls like her think? Drop your thoughts below. Before her trip, Millie met her best friends, Vanessa and Tasha, at a milkshake stall. They giggled over gossip blogs until Millie dropped the bomb. "I'm getting a BBL." Tasha almost spat her drink. "From where? You? You have 200K? Millie smirked. "Let's just say I believe in investing in my future." They burst out laughing. "BBL? What will they use? Hope and Vaseline. You'll be back looking like a swollen tomato." Millie laughed with them, but inside her blood boiled. They thought she was bluffing. They didn't know the money was already packed. The appointment booked. Later that night, Millie stared at the ceiling, fists clenched. Let them laugh now. Soon they'd be begging for her skincare secrets. She had the cash, the plan, and the confidence, but the ingredient list was about to include something wild. If your best friend told you this plan, would you stop them or laugh like her friends did? Her parents saw her off at the gate. "Don't forget to study," they cheered. Millie waved from the matatu, her suitcase locked and loaded. By afternoon, she stood outside a dusty Eastlands building with a sign that read, "Dr. Mercy Enhancements. Natural, no pain, no trace." Inside, a woman sat reading a wrinkled magazine. She looked up. "You actually came." "I have the money," Millie said proudly. The clinic had one flickering bulb, a massage table, jars of cocoa butter, and before and after posters with suspicious hips. Dr. Mercy, if that was her name, put on gloves like a movie villain. "We've got one last jar of our special enhancer," she said. Millie's eyes gleamed. Then came the twist. A clean adult diaper. "For what?" Millie asked. "No cutting, just natural sculpting," the woman replied. "This is how it works." Millie nodded, ready for greatness, but her blessing came with a buzz. The lady at the clinic said there would be no injections, no surgery, just results. But wait till you see what was really inside that diaper. Dr. Mercy went into the back and returned with a sealed container. Inside, tiny, fuzzy insects, bees, stunned by smoke. Millie didn't notice. She was already lying on the table, face glowing with excitement. Dr. Mercy stuffed the bees into the diaper, sealed it shut, and whispered, "They'll stay asleep for 3 hours. Don't remove the diaper. Lie on your stomach." "No problem," Millie grinned. She was dropped at a small flat and told to avoid movement. She waddled inside, spread herself across the mattress like a queen, and smiled. Soft life begins now. The room smelled like onions and mothballs, but Millie didn't care. She imagined her future Instagram post. Transformation Tuesday, natural only, #no surgery needed. But as she scrolled TikTok and practiced her new walk in her mind, deep inside that diaper, the bees began to stir. This sounds crazy, right? But here's the twist. Some people actually fall for worse scams. Have you heard worse? The first hour passed. Nothing. Then, twitch. Buzz. Millie lifted her head. "Eh?" Another flick. Then it came. Buzz! Prick! Buzz! Sting! She froze, then screamed. She tried to stay calm. Just 2 minutes, she told herself. But the bees had no concept of time. "Yay!" she howled, flailing on the bed. Her whole backside pulsed. One sting, then another, then a flurry. Millie bolted to the bathroom, crashed into the sink, and gasped. "This is not beauty. This is witchcraft." She ripped the diaper off. Bees flew out. Some dazed, others furious. She ran out of the house half-dressed, screaming, "The bees are in my bum!" The streets were not ready. Neighbors gathered, phones out. Millie ran in circles, bees in pursuit, hands clutched to her flaming buttocks. "She's possessed," someone cried. "No, she's bewitched." A man tried to help with a mop. It made things worse. The caretaker arrived with bug spray and a stick. "What's going on here?" "Cosmetic enhancement," Millie wailed. An ambulance came. By then, she was face down on the grass, sobbing. Her behind, looked like it had fought a war and lost. She trended that night, TikTok remixes, meme challenges, Twitter threads. The phrase, "the bees are in my bum," became a beat drop. And Millie? She went viral. Has a bad decision ever gone so wrong it became a public show? Share your most embarrassing moment if you dare. Hospital beds weren't comfortable, but at least they were bee-free. Millie lay on a donut pillow, her phone confiscated, her face hidden under a sheet. Then her parents arrived. "Millie," her mother said, "did you really steal our emergency money for a behind?" Her father just stared. Broken. Millie whispered, "I thought, rich men? Rich men? With that bum? You'll only attract mosquitoes," her mother snapped. No one laughed. Dr. Mercy? Vanished. Clinic closed, no trace. Millie went home in shame. At school, she was the cautionary tale, the bee-bum girl. One day, the chief invited Millie to speak to youth. She stood before a crowd, nervous, then spoke. "Don't be like me. Don't let the internet tell you what beauty is. Don't chase big butts and forget your big brain." They clapped. Later, at home, she tore down her vision board. She scribbled a new phrase, "brains over booty." And for the first time in a long time, she meant it. Was Millie just naive, or was this a lesson she had to learn the hard way? Let's talk about it in the comments. Stories connect us to our past, shape our present, and guide our future. African Legends and Stories is more than just storytelling. It is a bridge between yesterday and tomorrow, between tradition and modernity. Subscribe now and be part of this journey. Like, comment, and share to keep these legends alive. This is African Legends and Stories, where the past speaks and the future listens.